The Notaries Unsealed podcast is brought to you by the Notary Success System and Captivated Notary Marketing Solutions. Coming up on this episode.
Are you putting yourself in a position to be liable for something this other company did?
You gotta ask yourself, are you going in there as a business or are you going in there as someone that's looking for work? Because I think what's happening within the notary industry,
it definitely takes some adjustment. And that's why, starting a business isn't for everyone.
Real smooth this time. We Notaries Unsealed. This my everyday life. Yeah. We Notaries Unsealed. Every day I hustle out here living it right. Let's go. We Notaries Unsealed. Put the stamp down and stop in front of the mic. Here we go. Took the game over. We home now. We soldiers. Griff, Mathurin and Q, the podcast. You can't hold us. Y'all heard the word. Y'all heard the word. Griff, Mathurin and Q. Yeah, we on the verse.
Welcome back to another episode of Notaries Unsealed. I'm your host, Quentin Smith, and I got my guys with me, Mathurin and Uncle Griff. Say what's up to the people, fellas.
Hey, what's going on, party people? Just sitting here chilling, enjoying life. We're going to have a really, really good discussion tonight.
oh yeah, what's going on, folks? It's another day. Hope you guys are doing well. Just here. It's a good weekend. Lots of rain. Kind of cleared up today, but we are here to provide great value, as always.
Yeah, we got some of that storm, too. It was raining hard yesterday, man.
It was horrible up here, man. I don't know what was going on. I feel like I was back in Florida.
I know, right? That rain was hard. It was beating down on my house, too.
Yeah, it forced me to do my last signing about 2 hours early because of all the rain and tornado. We had a tornado watch here and everything.
Wow. Well, that's not fun.
No, it's not. So every time I hear tornado, I'm thinking about Florida days, man. Look, those are not fun.
Yeah.
Not fun at all.
Oh, and as a side note, I found out one of my favorite movies, Twister. They're coming out with a Twister 2.
What?
That's what I was told. I gotta verify that.
With all the advances in technology since that movie's been made and the advancement with CGI, what?
Yeah, that should be a good one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Twister 2. If they got that,
like 20,
I would love
about
it.
10 years or 20 years later?
Oh man, Twister came out in the 90s, right?
In the 90s?
Yeah, it's been about close to 20 years. Yeah, Bill Paxton died, but it was. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It had been like 94, 95, somewhere in there, right?
I'm going to pull it up right now.
Oh, here we go. Now I'm going to have to go back and edit and take out all the key clicks and all the mouse clicks and everything else like that.
No, see, I'm using my phone now. You're good. No, Twister, it came out in 1996.
96.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a minute, man.
That is.
Oh, yeah, they saying Twister sequel has been confirmed.
Oh, I love it. I cannot wait. I always wanted to be a storm chaser, man. I love that stuff. Like one of the things that I like to do is sit outside on the on my porch and I watch storms come in because of the direction that my house faces in.
Yeah.
The way that the air, the clouds go through our area kind of in the same direction all the time. So I get to watch the storms come in. I love watching that.
Nah, well, you can do that yourself, man. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not chasing no storm. I'm all right.
So Twister 2, so it won't be called Twister 2, it's going to be called Twisters. So I guess it's going to be
Twisters.
And this was 25 years ago.
Twisters.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right.
What?
So they're talking about spring 2023. Now that I don't really like going to the movie theaters. I've never been a movie theater person because when I was growing up in Jacksonville, people used to get shot all the time and they used to be breaking out in fights.
Yeah.
So I was always terrified to go to movie theaters, and I still carry that with me that somebody gonna start some mess at the theater.
I remember being younger, growing up in Maryland in Oxon Hill. Anybody, shout out to my people out in Maryland. Out in the PG County, Oxon Hill, DC area. What's up? There was a movie theater right there in Riverdale that got shut up, I think, a couple times. I remember hearing that as a kid. My mom was like, "Nope, we can't go to movies." And I was like, "Why?" Because people were shooting.
Shut up.
Alrighty.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't. Girls be like, "Hey, you gonna take me to the movies?" Nope, we can't be my girlfriend then. I'm like, nope.
No movies. I'm not trying to get shot up or stabbed up.
I'm serious. I ain't never take a girl to the movie theater when I was dating her growing up. We used to have a place called Gateway Mall.
Q's been always a weekend at the movie theater. Look at him.
I ain't spent all my weekend at the movie theaters, but I spent some time up at the movie theaters.
Had no business.
My daughter ain't going to no movie dates. Zero. I'll be in the front. I'm in a row right in front of them. Nope.
Sure. Nope. You gotta watch a movie at the house. You're not taking my daughter on a date. You gotta watch.
Matter of fact, they're gonna be in a row in front of me, so I can see everything. Sharing popcorn.
Yeah, and see, I don't like going to the movies with people behind me, so I always like to sit at the top. But then I'm like, if something break out, I'm stuck because I'm at the top.
It's just one of those things. You just gotta be ready to move, man.
Now, if they do have the Twister, and of course they're gonna put it in the theaters. When I go, it's going to be on a time. It's going to be during the day when it's going to be like everybody else at work.
That's the best time.
And I'm not gonna take any signings, and I'm gonna just go to the theater then, where it's like, okay, it's just me.
Yep, they're gonna give you that senior citizen discount too.
I know, man.
Shoot, man. Next year he might just get in for free.
He'll be like, "I'm sorry, sir, we forgot to take off the $1.50 from your popcorn."
Well, man, a couple of years back, when I hadn't even hit 50. I'm going, and I got all this gray in my beard. I go to the daggone Chick-fil-A. I was down in Tallahassee, Florida. The lady was asking me to give, did I want the senior discount?
Oh, man.
And I was like, what? And I guess I was there at a time when they do senior discounts. And I was like, I was like, nah, I didn't take it. I was like, no, I ain't no senior. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay.
Father Time smacked you in the face right there.
I was messed, man. I was mad all over. I was like, shoot. I said, man, I was like 40-some years old and talking about senior discount.
She got you on that. She got you on that.
Yeah.
Bro. You know what, Griff? Look, so we're here for you, man.
No, I'm gonna keep making fun of him.
We still going to the Middle Ages, Q. Since we were talking about the Middle Ages.
Yeah, we still going through the Middle Ages. Griff is still in the Middle Ages. He's towards the end of the Middle Ages.
Who at the middle?
Yeah, you at the middle end.
Yeah. Definitely is.
All right, fellas. How's business? Everybody all right? Business going okay? Keeping busy?
Yeah. This past week, I think I had 15. I had one on this past Saturday, the 12th of November. I had one, and I think when I sit back and think about it, I think I've had a signing on every Saturday for about the past 3 weeks.
Nice.
I really do. I think I've had a signing on the Saturdays for the past 3 weeks.
Actually, come to think about it, I think I have as well.
Not sure. That's good.
Like my weeks generally start off pretty slow, but they pick up towards Wednesday, and I'm generally busy towards the end of the week. That's been my what's been going on with my business.
Nah, I got you. Nah, things been
really weird.
Yeah, things been all right up here, man. It's just definitely hit a slowdown. But what I've been getting lately, and I had to call again today, people was calling me to draft documents for them. So that's something. I had like 3 appointments that I couldn't get because they wanted me to draft a document, and I had to tell them that I can't do that. It's like, I really can't. This guy called earlier. He wanted a power of attorney, and it to be a apostle, but he doesn't have the documents. He thought I could draft the documents for him. Then I had the lady who called for immigration paperwork. She thought I could give her the immigration documents. I'm like, I can't do any of that. I cannot draft your documents, lady.
Yeah, I've had a couple of people call me in those situations, and generally what I'll do is I'll let them know, like, hey, there are other options out there if you're not going to go to a lawyer. There are things that you can Google. There are templates that you can Google online. Some of them are free. Some of them you'll have to pay for.
Yep.
But just put in, like I'm here in Pennsylvania, and I'll say let's just throw an affidavit out there. Just throw an affidavit Pennsylvania template. And, generally you'll have some type of setup wizard that'll help you walk you through the document or,
like e-form.
Yeah. Generally they'll help walk you through that. And, you can get it done that way. And, once you have that taken care of, I'd be happy to help you notarize it.
Yep. That makes sense.
Just provide them a resource, or provide them with a way of finding what it is that they're looking for without giving it to them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. No, I think that right there's it's a good option, for us to do. Even you notaries out there, make sure you take notes of what Q just told you. He just told you like a good thing right here.
Yeah. Well, look, let me give people a little bonus real quick, because I hadn't even looked into it, but to right now, I said, okay, can notaries draft documents? That's what I just Googled, and it says many notaries are confused as to whether or not they can notarize documents that they have drafted. In most cases, a notary cannot draft documents. To do so might be considered the unauthorized practice of law. This does not, however, apply to notaries who are attorneys or who draft documents, and this is the key here, during the course of their employment, not during the course of them running a business, during the course of their employment. And then typically non-lawyer notaries cannot draft documents. And in some states, the law allows non-lawyers to act as typists to fill in government forms that provided by clients. Gotcha. And then those people, but it's about you being in a job.
Right. Yeah.
If you're in a job, then yeah, and you can fill it in and notarize it. But
like if you work at the bank or something like that. Gotcha.
Right. But if you're just, trying to, Shantae's notary service or Earl's notary guy business and whatever, you just can't go around drafting documents for people because they say I need a will or a power of attorney. And I don't.
Now there is some gray area there, and I can already see some finagling around the wording of that. Like Griff said, this is about you being in a job, and I would take into consideration what that actually means and look into it a little bit more past what we're going into it, because there may be more stipulations where job means that you are not an employee to your own company that you own.
Right, because that's what people probably do. So, well, I'm an employee to my own
if
company.
You're an S corp and you have yourself listed as an employee, that I'm pretty sure that that's not the same thing. But I would encourage you to find out for yourself. And even still, there's way too much gray area there for me, because if this is how I'm making money to feed my family, that's too much big of a risk to be putting myself into. That's too gray of an area.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
And then you need to ask your state. You got to ask your state, am I allowed to do this, and under what conditions?
Right.
I mean, to the point where you say to the state, look, I have a such and such corp, S corp, whatever, right, and I'm the single employee and owner. Can I do this like I'm an employee of my business and then turn around and notarize it? Would that be legal in accordance with the state law? If they say, yeah, then cool, you're good. If they say no, then whoever taught you that, you need to get your money back from that
pretty much. What they need to realize, if you can't afford to get sued, don't do it. Like, ask yourself that. Can I take a hit? If you cannot afford to get sued or brought into court, do not follow these folks that's telling you to draft documents.
Not only that, but also look into the consequences of practicing law.
Ooh,
right? You need to know what the consequences of you being unauthorized practice of law. Learn what those consequences are within your state and know what you're dealing with before you start doing stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Because I know it's lucrative. I know it's very lucrative. I see it out there. We see it out there on the internet. We know that there are notaries that are doing it, and we see what they're charging. It's very lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
Before you bite that apple, Eve, make sure you know what you're dealing with.
That's right.
Don't say we didn't want it.
Because that Adam who's trying to give you that apple might be getting you in some trouble.
You're right about that. They don't say we didn't warn you.
Which actually kind of leads us to our topic for tonight, fellas. So the other day, I was browsing through Facebook, Pennsylvania Facebook group. I'm active, some there. I'll offer advice here and there, and say what's up to the new notaries that just get their commission and wish them good luck and everything like that in the area. Somebody had asked if there was a particular signing company that was okay to work, to do work with. And I thought it was really interesting, the responses that came in. Now, I gave my response and I said, yeah, this signing company is very reputable and they're great to do work with. But then everybody else, their responses kind of gave me a little bit of pause because they said, this is a great company to work for. And me being the stickler for words that I am, there is a huge difference between working with somebody and working for somebody.
That's correct.
And I kind of feel like this is an issue within the notary world right now, where you've got a lot of notaries that are independent business owners that are looking to work for people instead of with people. What are your thoughts?
No, man, look. If you want them to respect your business, and see, that's part of the reason why I did the LLC, because I wanted them to look at it as Griffin Notary Services. That Griffin Notary Services is doing business with such and such signing company. Even though they try to deal with you, and they'll even get slick sometime and put your first name and last name on the check rather than your business name, which I'm thinking about going back and asking them to switch that up. Some of these companies, and it's not that many that do it, but you want them to respect you as a business, so you got to function that way, and you're not working for them. And see, a lot of that comes, and this is going to probably get me in trouble. That's where I have the concern about when they say you're representing that company.
Right.
Because if I'm representing them, and this goes into the 1099 laws, if I am representing them, am I a 1099? That's the question. Am I really a 1099 if I'm there representing them? Because that means if I'm representing them, then I should be able to answer questions on their behalf or give the client some kind of insight to their operations. And I can't, because I don't work for them. I'm independent of them. And I do get what they're saying to a degree, like, hey, you're representing. Well, if I represent my company in the proper manner, it's going to show favorable on them, unless they got a different, like I'm trying to do things right and they trying to do things slick and vice versa. But, and I know what they're doing. They're trying to get the notaries to have more concern and care about how they conduct business with this client. So it's like, I want you to look at yourself as you're representing us. Well, for me to represent you, I need to know something about you. And I don't really know a whole lot about you to represent you. I'm there on your behalf, per se, but can I really represent you? And that's where you got to understand that word represent. Just like in the thing talk about representative capacity.
Yeah, Griff.
With the representative capacity that's in the on some of these deeds and mortgages, that means the person who signs representative capacity is doing it on behalf of somebody else who's not there.
So what I want to do is, I pulled out one of my many legal dictionaries here, and I pulled out the Bouvier's second edition, volume 2. And we're going to give the legal definition of representative, because if you're reading something that's in the small print, the legalese, the term representative has a legal definition. So let's give that to you guys so that way you know what this means, okay? So representative means one who represents or is in the place of another. In legislation, it signifies one who has been elected a member of that branch of the legislature called the House of Representatives, a representative of a deceased person, sometimes called a personal representative, or a legal personal representative is one who is executor or administrator of the person described. That is the legal definition of representative.
Damn, that boy good. That boy good. I said,
I can read.
Look at him. He can read. He can read.
But they say they should never let y'all learn to read.
And that's one thing about you guys. This guy has like a plethora of books. Like, he loves books. So if he pull out one of his dictionary, just know he's about to give you some real
like
knowledge. 8
law dictionaries.
Yeah, not that Google representative definition. He's gonna give you the real thing.
Nah, there's like 6. No, there's probably like, what was it? 2.5 pages dedicated to representative and representation. I'm not going to give it all to you right now, but there's a lot that goes into being a representative or representing someone else, and I highly recommend that you guys understand legally what that means.
Right. because then there's some liability. Because if you're saying I'm a representative of them, and the person who you claim to be representing or told you that you're representing, especially if that company goes out and tells the client before you get there that we're sending one of our representatives, and then that client has a problem with the way that company did something, are you going to be liable?
Right. Whose E&O insurance does that come under?
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's a good question right there, Q.
So if you are you putting yourself in a position to be liable for something this other company did? The bottom line is simply this, and this has come back to professionalism. What Samantha talked about on the podcast prior to this one is that you got to teach people professionalism, and that's hard to teach. So why? Okay, let me step back here, and then we let Mathurin go, because I be running my mouth too much. But let's look at it this way.
Just kidding.
Where's the bell? Why? Where's the bell? Where's the bell? We need the bell he was talking about.
Get the bell out.
Yeah, a couple episodes ago we were talking about the bell.
Here's the question. Why is this company trying to convince me that I represent them? Because I'm only asking you to think of yourself representing me and doing it to some level of some professional level. If I have concerns that you might not act professional, if I have confidence that you're going to be a professional and do things right, I don't need to worry about you trying to quote unquote represent me well.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to represent yourself well, you're going to do, then okay, cool. I mean, that's like you having some kids over to your house and you babysitting them, and then your kids and that kid leaves. You don't tell that other kid, hey, you're representing me. No, they're representing their parent. But your son, the one who is your child, they represent you. Not this other person who just spent the night, but that kid's parent told him, said, when you go over there to Mathurin's house, you represent us well by doing what? Acting right, because there's this connection. Mm-hmm. What connection do we have with these companies that would put us in a true position of being their representative from a legal standpoint? And I don't see that there. So I take it from the standpoint, I'm going to properly represent my business because I care about my business. Therefore, I'm going to do right by you by not overstepping my bounds and saying stuff and doing stuff that I would deem that I believe would be outside the scope.
Makes sense. Now you are absolutely right, Griff. What they need to ask themselves is, especially if you're starting a business and you are going to provide your services to other company, you got to ask yourself, are you going in there as a business or are you going in there as someone that's looking for work? Because I think what's happening within the notary industry is that people are starting businesses, they are opening the LLC, getting their EIN number, getting all the correct setup. But as soon as an opportunity comes where for them to work with another business, they immediately go back to the W-2 mindset. You are opening a business. There's a reason why you wanted to open a business. There's a reason why you choose that path to become a business owner. You cannot let those signing companies or attorney offices, get you to act as a W-2 employee, because that's not what you are. Because you want it to be a business. So stop acting like a W-2 employee. Now, when you go to these appointments, and what I like to do, I always tell them, hey, I'm calling for Mathurin Notary Services. I'm calling on behalf of such and such. And I'm the notary that's coming out there. I'm going to provide you with the service. I do not go there and tell them I'm a representative of that company. Just like Griffin was saying. If they start asking me a question about the company, I don't know what to tell them. Besides, well, they just called me 2 hours ago. What am I gonna tell you about the company?
Yeah.
They called me 2 hours ago, and I accept. No, I'm from Mathurin Notary Service, because at the end of the day, you're gonna leave Mathurin Notary Service a review based on your experience as Mathurin Notary Service. But I think it's it comes down to the mindset. You have to be willing to represent yourself as your business and get into the habit of telling those signing company services or any other company services that reach out to you, you have to get treated like a business. Stop allowing them to treat you as a W-2 employee.
For a new business owner, that's kind of hard to do, especially when you're trying to kind of find your way and get your footing. And being a business owner, it definitely takes some adjustment. And that's why, starting a business isn't for everyone. I mean, let's be honest about it. Not everybody has the fortitude to be able to stand their ground and say, no, I'm not going to do that. And let's be honest right now, because it's been so slow, you've got a lot of people that aren't going to stand their ground because they need the money.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Yeah.
They need
that money.
When you are in charge of your business, when you are handling your business, you have to be afraid. You can't be afraid to walk away from money. And that's a hard thing for people to do right now. I mean, we're teetering on a recession right now. It's hard to walk away from money, but this isn't about living life the easy way. If you wanted to live life the easy way, you would go work a W-2 where somebody tells you what time you have to be there and what time you get off, when your days off are, when you're going to get paid. If you want the easy life, go live like that. Go back to working a W-2. It's okay. This isn't for everyone. It's really not. As good of an idea as it may seem, right? If you're not willing to walk away from a contract, walking away with doing work for somebody that does work in your area because it's just bad business for you and the way that you want to operate, then you're going to consistently get rolled over and made to feel the lesser as a business owner, and you'll always complain and you'll always be looking for a way out, and you won't get a chance to move up. Right? You won't get a chance to take your business to the next level and be respected the way that you'd like to be respected as a business owner. You're constantly going to be a yes, ma'am, let me take what I can get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're right. And see, if you're coming in there with the wrong mindset, the wrong viewpoint, you're trying to come in there with that W-2 mind, you're going to always be looking like, well, why don't they do this for me? Why don't they do that for me? They need to be doing more for me. And it's weird because on one end, they're asking you to represent them like you're an employee. But on the other end, they want you to just grow up, be mature, and do what you got to do as the notary and the business owner that they've contracted under the 1099 guidelines. So it's like, which one is it? You see? So you want me to be a business owner when it's convenient for you. But then when it's, but when I need to go and operate that way, you're like, oh, no. I want you to represent me. I want you to pretend like you are part of our family. I'm like, I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not. And I'm not, because what do people always talking about? Well, notary's a dime a dozen. So if you look at me as a dime a dozen, then you don't really look at me as a part of your team. Do you know me? There's no connection. We have an agreement for me to go notarize documents for you and for you and your client. Then let's deal with it there. But again, the problem is that people don't conduct themselves in a professional manner. So what do they decide to do? Well, we got to find a way to get y'all to do this. And again, what's the best way to do it? That's what they tell employees to do. You work for this company, you're a part of the company. You go out there and sell those Chick-fil-A fries or whatever.
Chick-fil-A fries, though.
You're selling them for us, and you're a part of the company. I don't have stock options in these signing companies that I'm doing business for.
Wait, who sells Chick-fil-A fries though on the low?
Well, actually, you know what? Wait a minute. There's one company. I bought some stocks in Old Republic.
Oh, did you?
On what's his name? On Cash App.
Okay.
They got the little stock thing, and I bought some stocks in I bought some stock in Old Republic title.
Speaking of Cash App and all that goes on there, because I know you can get into Bitcoin, but I'm not trying to derail this conversation. But you see what happened with FTX? What?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, FTX.com, because Jesper Singh from Minority Mindset did a video explaining that you got FTX US, which is the company that was sponsoring his stuff. And then you got FTX.com, which is a totally different company. They done collapsed, and whatever basketball arena had them on there took them off. I forgot which arena, but they took them off. So they lost their sponsorship and everything. So, and that's why I've been real leery about getting deep into crypto. I did crypto for about a year, and I did make some money off of it. And I got out just before before it's really exploded. But the stuff that I was in was dropping while Bitcoin was doubling and tripling. And I had some Scotias of the Bitcoin, and I made some money off of that. But I sold all my stuff, and I mean, if I got anything in there, it's probably less than $10.
Well,
still floating.
Here's the thing about it, and I'm gonna tiptoe on this line that I'm about to say, and then I'm gonna jump right out of what I'm the conversation. The issue with Bitcoin and all of these other little digital currencies, what happened with FTX is a lot of the people that were investing, they were kind of persuaded to go and take out all of their funds all at once, and the company couldn't handle it. That's the same way that our banking industry actually works. Now I'm going to step away from this conversation because I don't want to go any further down it, and I don't want us to get in trouble.
Yeah. Y'all go do your research on this stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now I got to throw this out there. Those NFTs, they starting to fail.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life, by the way. I'm just saying. I know that's like the it thing for 2021 and 2022. How am I gonna own a part of somebody else's watch halfway across the globe, and if they decide to sell the watch, I don't get nothing for it.
Yeah. Because several of those NFTs that sold for hundreds of dollars actually are now they barely worth $10. So I think I don't even want to say the guy's name. He was some guy that liked to try to box and all of that. Him and his brother like to try to box, and one of them,
those YouTube boxers,
bought NFTs. Bought like an NFT for like $600,000. And now that thing is only worth $10.
Well, you know what? The one YouTube boxer, he's had enough fights now where he's a boxer. Like, as much training he's a boxer, so I'm not gonna make fun of him. But yeah, back to what's your point.
Yeah, and the point is that everybody was talking about the NFTs. Now, being a web guy, I went in to figure out how to make them, and this is one of my things. When I research something to try to find out how to make it, and all they do is talk about how to make money with it and how to sell it.
Issue.
Yeah.
But there's a problem there. There's a big problem. How do I make the NFT? What do I do to make it myself? And I could never find anything definitive from start to finish on how to make it. There were things like it was wrapped into this thing of, well, take this course and I'll teach you how to sell NFTs and make money. But I'm like, okay, well, you're talking about getting somebody else's NFT and being like a wholesaler and flipping it. How about I make the NFT myself?
You can't do that.
That was a thing, so my son, he likes to draw. He's a great artist and he's doing wonderful with it. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he could. And he looked into it. He said, I can't figure out how I can't find anything that goes from start to finish, how to make an NFT. I could not find that out there, at least for free or even for $99 or whatever. But I found a bunch of stuff on how to sell it.
You're right.
And that was a red flag for
Listen,
me.
man, there's a lot of people selling the pie in the sky. All I can say to you listeners is stick to tangible items, things that you can hold, things that you can see, things that you can feel. Stick to those things.
Absolutely.
Even when it comes to this notary world, stick to those things that you can actually see for yourself, that have value, that have a number on them that you can hold people to. I've said it before, you keep paying for information. I don't understand why they're just giving you Google searches worth of information.
Yeah, but once again, folks are not willing to do the work. As long as you're not willing to do the work, there's always going to be somebody out there that want to take advantage of you.
So in other words, the entrepreneurs are selling stuff to the wannabe entrepreneurs, but keeping them in the mindset because they got the mindset of a W-2.
Absolutely. And I think that's where a lot of people...
Because at the W-2, you always got the company training you and telling you what to do. You don't research it yourself. Let's be real. In a W-2, how often do you go into your W-2 saying, I'm going to really research how to do my job? I'm going to research how to do this, that, and the other. And no, you wait for them. They tell you, I'm going to research how to onboard and go through the orientation for this company. No, you go in there and they sit you down and tell you from start to finish, here's how we do things.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Just like out here.
But as a business owner, you got to figure all that out yourself.
Yep. And if you're not willing to, somebody out there will be going to teach you. And then they're going to be teaching you the wrong way. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be representing day training. And, that's what you're going to be doing. But, it all comes down to, which we talked about multiple times, doing your own due diligence. That's what it comes down to. Stop, learn. Well, I'm not going to say, of course you got to learn the business, but remember why you wanted to be a business owner. Remember why you are trying to escape the W-2 life. Now, we're not saying you can't run your business and work a W-2, but if you are ready to make that jump where you want to be a business owner full time, then you have to be willing to do your research. You have to be willing to know the laws, like Q was reading to you guys, and stop allowing people to take advantage of you. Not just, again, we're not talking about just a notary. We're talking about just in business in general.
Yeah, stop believing that stop looking to work for this company that's paying you and look to work with them.
Learn to work with them.
You want to work with them, and because when you work with somebody, I think that empowers you to be able to negotiate more revenue.
It helps you build a business relationship. When you're working with somebody, you're building a relationship
that you can negotiate and come to an agreement that now that I'm doing more work for you, guess what? And that goes into know your worth. Because you know what? Matter of fact, I haven't really heard people using that phrase recently. Actually, hardly any this year about know your worth.
I think everybody's kind of taking in the fact that the fees have dropped, and they're like, oh, well, my worth has been redefined apparently.
Yeah. Now they all live in their house for $50 now.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, but everybody talk about know your worth, and I put a video out there, and I did a video on knowing your worth, and the main thing, and it was a lady from TED Talk, and it's a video link, and she said once she did the work for this company after a year, she evaluated it and realized that she had done this ... and it required her to get compensated more, and she was able to show the person the data. Most notaries and most of these business owners, they're not trying to do any work. They just want people to pay them, and they haven't done anything to prove their worth.
Right.
Because when somebody sees your work, then they can put a value on and say, okay, well, you know what? We need to pay you more. But if you ain't doing nothing,
you have to establish the relationship first. And how do you establish the relationship? By doing good business, following through, doing what you're hired to do. It's not hard.
Not at all.
Yeah. So you're working with them instead of working for them. And see, that's why when I market myself, I tell these companies, I say, hey, look, I understand you already have existing notarial relationships. My goal is to help expand your business and to work with you in doing that. I tell people all the time, don't go in there talking about I'm gonna be your notary and I can just give me all the work, because they're like, because the person who is their notary might be a family member that they're trying to help out.
Correct.
So you let them know, keep that relationship. I want to build one with you over here for this specific purpose of doing work that you can't send that person on. You can't send them on. You're not going to go 45 minutes out in the country to get these documents notarized or to bring these estate planning documents, are you? Well, no, I don't have time for it. but I do. That's what my business is, to help you expand your reach. Now we're talking about how I'm working with you. See, people who work for you don't think that way, but people who work with you, they see, oh, you can expand your business this way. Oh, I can? How? Give me the documents. I go get it done. You pay me a fair fee. Boom. And because that person can pay you more for the convenience of me coming out there, it's a win-win.
Correct. You guys just got, what do they call it? $1 million worth of game. Y'all just got $1 million worth of game right there.
Yep, but and we didn't even charge you $9.99.
We ain't charge you nothing. We never charge y'all nothing. I'm just kidding. We love y'all. Hey, we're gonna head to a break, guys. We'll be right back.
Do you need a little help advertising your notary business? Captivated Notary Marketing Solutions helps you better build your business locally. It's the only service we offer. Created by founder Quentin Smith to assist other notaries be successful. We offer affordable solutions like unique custom logos, premium digital ads, and multiple options to help you build your social media presence. Visit us online at www.captivatednotaryms.com. Subscribe today and get captivated.
It's Captivated, baby.
Yup, that's the name that we go by when we let the post fly.
It's Captivated, baby.
We got hoodies and tees for all your notary needs. Know what I'm talking about?
It's Captivated, baby.
Nobody does it like me, so it's best to believe when you see it.
It's Captivated, baby.
Yeah, we do this. We got the newness. Just don't forget.
It's Captivated, baby.
Q, the Notary Supremo. T-shirt ads sounding just like a demo. Podcast song blast, shout out to our demo. Graph how I laugh with my foot on this pedal. Somehow I lost my mind. Have you seen all these designs? And I sell them things cheap, $24.99. What's your name? What's your size? Forget it, never mind. The Captivated store, order pay another time. A notary that rhymes, yes, that's him, lady. Commission with these writtens, I've been spitting crazy. Witness all the ways we give it, all we say that we do. It's true.
It's
Guess
Captivated, baby.
www.captivatednotarystore.com.
It's Captivated, baby.
Witness all the ways we give it, all we say that we do. It's true.
It's Captivated, baby.
I know how long they're going. They're going for like 1 minute and 11 seconds. But I always say that I hope you weren't going too long and that we weren't going too long. I know we weren't going too long for you guys. Anyway.
He was gone long enough for me to cook some food.
I know. Griff got himself something. He got some chicken and rice. Funny thing is, actually, Griff, I didn't tell you, I had chicken and rice tonight for dinner as well.
The only thing I'm missing is the root beer that you was drinking that Mathurin don't like. Mathurin don't like root beer, so we got to figure out that.
I know, right? Now we're going to have to figure it out. Like I said, I tried it when I was younger. I was not a fan, so maybe now that I'm older and wiser, maybe the taste bud might be different.
Hey, your taste buds do change as you get older. And Matthew, you are getting older, just like I am.
Damn.
Hey, I'm getting older. You know, you want to know something that's funny? So
what?
I'm growing the beard out right now, right? And I used to have a beard. I had a nice long beard, and I had shaved it probably earlier in the year, right? So I'm growing it back out, and now I've got more gray hairs that are coming in the beard.
Oh yeah,
right. But the funny thing about those gray hairs is they stick straight out, like they don't grow like the rest of my hair pattern. So it's like when they stick out, like when they're gray, they're really there. Yeah. You know, and so I'm seeing them, and so that's been a big adjustment for me over the past couple of weeks.
No, don't worry. Once you get older, they'll lay down like mine do. Because in the beginning, mine was sticking out all over the place, but now they just lay down. They just go with the flow.
Look, man, look. She be plucking mines out. She's like, nah, it's too soon for that. But the whole thing is, when I was in middle school, I had grays. My head, my head was gray. Like most of it was gray. Then I went, and then for some reason it was on and off. So now now my beard is starting to get gray in them, and she'd be like, I don't know why you be liking them. So I'm over here like, nah, just leave them. But she's like, nah, we gotta pluck this out because it just be everywhere. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like,
Nah, man,
one of these days.
I love my gray hairs, man. I can't wait to get more. Like that whole salt and pepper, like I'm all for it, man. Like gray.
Man.
You know how many melanated men out there didn't get a chance to grow to have gray hair? You know what I mean?
There's a lot.
There's a lot of us that don't make it to be an age to have gray hair. Gray hair shows wisdom. You don't meet a whole lot of old fools.
No, well at all.
You know,
That's right.
And I respect.
So I got a lot of gray hair, y'all. So I'm pretty wise.
Griff's Yoda.
You know that I think that's what did it to me on YouTube. I was like, this guy's got gray hair. He's old. He ain't with the BS. I'm gonna sit here and listen to him.
That's right. I'm at the point. I don't care. I'm gonna just say what I gotta say.
Yeah, that's it. That's the best thing you can do at this point, right?
Right.
And before we gotta apologize for something. I'm not gonna go there.
True.
Yeah, we're not going there.
No, we ain't going there tonight. But where we are going to go tonight is our topic for this evening. We try to keep this non-businessy. The guys have no idea what the topic's going to be. I thought about this a little bit earlier. And Mathurin's going to be the first one to answer this. So my question to you...
Who's Mathurin?
Ismael.
You going first, man, so I can finish eating my chicken and rice.
Right? Griff over here grubbing, so we're going to let Griff finish eating. So my question for you guys is, what do you find yourself doing when you're wasting time? We all waste time. We all try to seem like we're always busy. We're always 100% focused. We're not always 100% focused. Let's be honest with ourselves. Okay, we got to be honest with ourselves. There's got to be something that you do that you find yourself doing to waste time. I know one of the things that I do when, if I'm sitting here working on a website or working on somebody's logo, I might open up a game of solitaire and just preoccupy my mind for a second or 30.
Yeah, I got you.
So what's something that you do to waste time that you find yourself doing wasting time?
Oh, man. For those of you who don't know, I don't really watch TV like that. So if I'm wasting time, I'll be in front of that TV just flipping through the channel. And I'm not doing it for like a couple minutes. Like I'm there. Like I can spend a good 20, 30 minutes just going between Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Hulu, regular channel. Like the next thing you know, it's 30 minutes later, I haven't chosen not one thing.
Yeah, YouTube gets me, man.
Oh man, YouTube is just bad. So beside that, sometime I'll be on my phone. Like I'm on Zillow. I'm looking at different states, looking at properties like for absolutely no reason. And then I get back. Then I go back in the office. I'm like, man, that's what I was supposed to be doing. But but the TV one is big for me. Like I be trying, like, unless you like the show that you recommended, I think it was like the man who fell to earth or the man who fell from earth or something like that.
I know what you're talking about, the Amazon show. Yeah,
that one was pretty good. So that one was really worth watching. And then you had saw something else on Netflix.
Designated Survivor.
Yeah, Designated Survivor. So those two were pretty good. But beside that, man, look, I can be in here like I said, half hour goes by, I'm just flipping. And then my kids looking at me like, hey, Dad, we're going to watch a movie? So what are we doing, Dad? We ain't doing nothing. I'm just going through the channels. But, yeah, no, I think that right there is big for me. That's if I'm home. But if I'm not home, man, like I'll just be going through my phone. I go through some emails or I look up books on Amazon, which I have no business doing right now. And that's about it. Amazon's the devil. Yeah. I'm just playing. But Amazon will get you.
Watch out. You might be considered anti-Semitic if you say that.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That's what's going on around there. Oh, man.
Let's be careful.
Yeah.
But nah, it's the whole movie thing for me. Just flipping through the channel. That's how I know that I'm off track.
No, I hear you on that one. I get caught up a lot of times. Amazon, I try to stay off Amazon, but here's where I get caught up. I'm very much a techie. I like my little gadgets, and you know, I've had my computer issues. I've shared it with you guys on the podcast.
Yeah.
I've shared it with you guys as well. And you know, my son and I told you guys that we are looking at building him a gaming computer. So where I get caught up is I'll go to YouTube and I'll see something that's kind of cool, and then I'll say, all right, well, where can I get that for cheaper? Then I go to eBay. And then I get caught up on eBay, looking through eBay, looking at different prices of things and doing different searches to see if I can find a good deal. And then once I find a good deal, I say, is this really a good deal? Let me go over to Amazon.
Just be all over the place. Like,
right?
Yeah.
And then from Amazon, I go back to YouTube and I'm like, I'll read a review on Amazon and I'll be like, on Amazon, they suggest a different product. So let me go back to YouTube and look up this product. And I get caught up in this never ending circle until I find a product that is within the price range that I want to spend on that specific item that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You know what, Q? You're the only person that I know, well, and my wife, that use eBay. Like every time you mention eBay, I'm like, oh man,
I love eBay.
That still exists. That still exists. It's like I'm not on there as much as I should be. But you know, I know there are some great stuff on there clearly because you finding some stuff, and she always finds some good stuff on there as well. But I'm not sure why I'm not on there as much as I am on Amazon.
Yeah, I love me some eBay. Another good one, another good marketplace for anybody that might be interested is I think it's called Macari. Macari is another good one.
Never heard of it until now.
Yeah, Macari is a good one. You can buy all types of things on there. Electronics. It's an open marketplace, so you have individual sellers, just regular people selling their products. It's a lot like Etsy.
Okay.
But for technical things and for like electronics and stuff like that, I like going on there because I keep saying I'm a tech guy. So even if something might not be working, there's probably a chance I could fix it for like $5 and save myself, $50 to $100 on something.
Okay, I remember when Macari first came about. I don't know what they was doing back then, but I couldn't get into them at the moment. But I had not looked at them, so I was just looking at them. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they got some stuff on there.
Okay.
They got some things.
I never heard of it till now. So you guys,
I'm sorry.
Now you guys can tell who's the youngest one out of all of this.
I'm sorry. I think I introduced you guys to two bad things today. What was the other thing? The other thing was a holographic keyboard we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what? It's Macaris.com.
Yeah, MERCARI. MERCARI.
All right.
.com.
Look at that. All right. Looks like I'm. Oh man. Yep. So just pulled up. First time hearing this. As you guys can.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Mathurin. If you listen to the show, I did not intentionally mean to send him on this mission.
Hold up. I know what I'm going to look for. Hold on.
Mrs. Griff, if you listen to the show as well, I am sorry that I did this. All right, I'll take all the blame. Man. I am so sorry.
Yep, you are going to take this blame.
Hold on. I got to show this to the fellas.
What you got, Griff?
Oh, man.
He's definitely going to take this blame, Q. I'm about to bookmark this.
Where's the tab?
See, this is what we do, folks.
There you go. That's what Mathurin gonna be looking at, them snuggies.
Yeah, boy. Hold on, you gotta find one with the hood, the hood and the
got all
footies.
kind of little snuggies in here.
Oh man! Hey, look, winter's coming, man. The winter's coming, so I gotta make sure I'm all set this winter. Shout out to my sister-in-law for giving me that as an early birthday present.
Oh yeah, what she get you?
She gave me that robe I was telling you about.
Oh, she got you the robe, the nighttime robe.
Yep.
Yeah,
there we go. Onesies and everything.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Matthew.
Man.
Get him some onesies.
I want to see Mathurin with a unicorn onesie.
Oh no! You know what? You know what? I was gonna say something, but nah, I don't want people going on YouTube searching for that because I don't even know if that. Know what?
Did you dress up? Did you dress up for a kid's? Oh,
I'm done talking about it. I know. I'm not even sure if it's on YouTube.
Party, didn't you?
Oh man,
who they talking to dressing up as, Matthew?
It's a cold world. Nah, I'm not mentioning that because I don't even know if they still have it on YouTube. You threw it
out there in the universe. It's out there now. People are gonna wonder. I'm wondering.
But keep wondering.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this, folks. At some point, we will find out what Mathurin dressed up as.
Oh man,
the adult onesie that says meow. That's hilarious.
Yeah, adult onesie says meow on it.
Oh man,
it's only $17.
$17.
It's got the cute little kitty nose on the top.
Yeah.
Nah, that is crazy. Nah, we're not doing that.
Hey Griff, what do you do to waste time, man? What do you find yourself doing when you waste time?
Oh man, it could be anything. Man, I wind up getting caught up looking at them YouTube shorts.
Sometimes I do too, man. Sometimes they catch me.
And yeah, the YouTube shorts. And there's one of the guys on here named Big Duke. I think it's on Big Duke 13. He tells jokes and stuff. He's real good at telling some jokes and everything. And so I catch him from time to time and I look at him. Then there's this one called J18, JONE8. He's funny. That dude be doing them videos about like parent teachers and the parents and the kids and stuff. Oh, yeah. So I catch those, but yeah, I watch a lot of the YouTube shorts, and check out those. The one kid that be doing up there, college football imitations of Nick Seben and Dion. So I catch him, but and then if I get on YouTube, YouTube every now and then while I'm on there, I look at a movie, but mostly Amazon Prime. Because I'm like with Mathurin. I'm going between Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hit Amazon Prime so I can watch SWAT, the NCIS series, and the Equalizer with Queen Latifah.
Okay.
So how is that show? Because I have not gotten into it.
I like it. Oh,
really? All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check it out.
If you understand the original Equalizer, the old British white guy, now the Denzel one was cool, but if you understand the original Equalizer, then you're going to understand this one because the original Equalizer was him being out in amongst the people in the city doing stuff she's doing the CIA agent thing also, but she's helping out regular people, on a daily basis. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's somewhat predictable. Right. Ain't gonna lie. It's predictable, what the next line gonna be.
Yeah,
what they're gonna say and stuff.
It's like a Burn Notice. You ever seen Burn Notice on USA?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Burn Notice. You always know what's gonna happen. It's like
Always.
Yeah. So and then I get on Hulu and check out like The Residents and some of the other shows that's on there, and then I hit Netflix up and see what's out there that I haven't seen. Sometime I look at an old movie, something like that, and then sometimes they get to a point where it's like, okay, ain't nothing on any of, because I don't watch everything. So it's like, okay, ain't nothing. So I guess I better get back to work.
Yep, pretty much.
So and then now get on Amazon and see. Neither one of y'all talked about this part of Amazon.
What's that?
Today's deal. That section for the deals.
Oh, really?
Man.
See, I stopped looking at Today's Deal a while ago. I can't.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I can't.
I have not looked at it, but I appreciate that.
I got willpower. Nope.
Today's Deal. I'm looking at. What is this? Deals and savings?
So I have certain searches that I have saved for Today's Deals.
Oh wow.
If I'm looking for a product, I'll save a search and I'll set up my filters and everything the way that I want it, and I'll check on those on a daily basis. I can't just do a whole general daily deals. That's just too much.
Okay.
It's too much. It's too much. There's too many good deals. I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, now they got the early Black Friday going on.
I know, and that's why I haven't been on the website.
Oh man, they got some.
Sure, I'm going through it right now.
So y'all are bad. Y'all are bad influences too.
Well, now they got some good earrings on here. My wife like hoop earrings, so they got some gold earrings up here.
Yep. Go ahead, shop for Miss Griff.
Oh man, and I haven't bought her some earrings in a minute. I mean, look, I used to buy her so many earrings. I'm talking about solid gold earrings because I'd be going overseas and stuff.
Yeah, get the good gold.
So I done bought her so many earrings there. I mean, she got enough to last 3 lifetimes. But
now, will she say that she's got enough to last 3 lifetimes, or is that you saying she's got enough to last 3 lifetimes?
Well, see, that's me. Cause after you done bought some real solid gold ones, this gold plated stuff, I ain't down with that no more. You know, I don't want my wife. You know, we be at some notary conference, which I don't know if that's gonna ever happen, but I'm just using that as an example. Be at some notary conference, and everybody be like, her earrings all faded. The gold done rubbed off.
Why are earlobes green?
Yeah, talking about gold plated zirconia. See, I can't. See, after you've been in places like Hong Kong and Singapore, and you've been around the real stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to buy this stuff that they sell in the stores that's gold plated. I'm like, I'd rather just go, cubic zirconian, starship diamonds and stuff. Nah, give me the real stuff. Hey, look,
that's why it's so important for people to travel, though, to be honest with you, because when you see the different sides of life and you start to experience more and you see what else is out there, you start to look around and you're like, man, this is some bull crap.
Yeah,
especially $11 for this here gold banglet, this cubic zirconia. Nah, I need real diamonds. I don't care if it's real diamond dust. Diamond dust. I would take diamond dust, something.
Wow.
Shoot.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'll take some.
Yeah, looks like I just find me some deal too. Jeez.
Nah, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, that early Black Friday.
I'm getting y'all out where my hands are up in the air. My phone ain't even near me. I'm not on the back end of this looking at Amazon like these gentlemen are, because I have self-discipline and I'm broke. Just kidding. I am not.
I'm disciplined too.
You know.
I'm disciplined in looking at them deals.
Pretty much.
Nope. Next episode we're gonna be talking about Griff. What'd you buy?
Oh man, yeah.
Oh man. Well, you know what? I really want to get a pressure cooker. I haven't had one of those.
I have one actually.
20 years, so I need to get me another one.
Yeah, I like to make stew in my pressure cooker. Like a good beef stew.
Oh man,
yes, that's some good stuff right there. That actually gives me, tomorrow's Sunday and the Eagles don't play till Monday.
Oh God, here we go.
I could make some stew tomorrow. I want to have stew meat downstairs.
Yeah, get that stew going because you guys gonna lose. We
always
on
talk about food on this podcast.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but get that stew real nice tomorrow, Q, because on Monday you're gonna need it. Because y'all losing on Monday. Just I'll let you know that. I predict it.
Okay.
I can see the future.
All right. And when I wave the white flag again, not like I do it every week on Instagram. Nice Eagles flag.
Sure. You know what? See, I don't even know who y'all playing.
We're playing the Commanders again for the second time.
Who the heck's the Commanders?
They used to be the Washington football team.
Oh, really? So they changed the name?
Yes, to the Commanders.
Commanders. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Well, I mean, they're not actually in Washington D.C. They're in Landover, Maryland. Anyway, but the commander, like the president, commander in chief, commanders, military. It's stupid.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or organization needs to just be blown up, not literally.
Washington Commanders.
Yeah, we're playing them again.
So are they even good?
No.
Nope. I just look it up.
Nah,
they're 4-5.
They're not good.
Wait, you know what? Those teams that be having a losing record, they be the toughest one at times. No, they like to sneak up on you.
Any given Sunday, I don't take I don't take for granted that the Eagles are 8-0 right now. All it takes is 2 plays and a little bit of luck, and that can change. I'm a very realistic fan when it comes to that. That's why I don't really talk. You know, I know that what we're experiencing right now is out of the ordinary, so I'm just gonna enjoy it. Y'all can talk all the trash you want to. It's cool.
But now, do you think you guys going all the way?
It'd be nice.
Well, at least you honest. Most fans will be like, yeah, man, we winning all. Nah,
No,
at least you honest with it.
It would be nice to go all the way.
I got you.
You know, well, I've been an Eagles fan for a long time. There's a lot of pain in those years. I understand. I understand where we're at right now.
Makes sense. All right, Washington.
Oh man, I done found something out here.
What you looking
I
at?
found some boots that I know my wife would like.
Some boots.
Yeah, she loves snow boots and stuff. Okay, yeah, we got snow boots. We only wear them when it snows, and it don't snow that often here.
I mean, that would be the
they're
purpose of snow
stylish.
boots.
Damn, they was cute. Oh man, yeah. I think you
Nah,
walked
good
into
snow
that
boot
group.
is those.
Nah, these here.
Those aren't bad. Those aren't bad. I think I bought
Yeah.
my daughter some very similar to those last year.
Yeah, my wife has one of those. Very simple.
No, they look sharp and brown. I like those.
See, I was getting ready to get them. I thought they were the men, but nah, these are for women. So of course, I got to find a matching pair. So I got to find the men ones.
Yo, I love that it's getting cold outside. I like dressing in the cold. Like I like wearing sweaters and stuff like that. Like I enjoy getting dressed during the cold weather, man.
Nah, I'm all set with that, man. Like I'm all set. I don't know how you guys do it, man. Look, I'm not a fan of the cold like that.
Like nice little Henley. Like I'm not a big fan of wearing coats. Like the only time I wear a coat is if I'm outside shoveling.
Yeah.
Oh, I love wearing coats.
I don't like feeling
and that's
restrained.
what my wife likes the most about the Equalizer. She don't look at the show that often, but because Queen Latifah, she's always wearing nice coats and stuff.
Well, for women, yeah,
And,
I mean that's a big fashion thing.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, that's how Law and Order was. It's like every time you see a Law and Order episode, it's always cold.
Yeah.
It's like, and they always in some nice jackets and stuff. It's like, okay, when does Law and Order happen during the summertime?
It's like they was modeling the Gap in Banana Republic for people.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna front though. When I was in the corporate world, Banana Republic was my spot, man.
Okay.
And I like them because I don't like labels. Like I don't like polo labels. Don't get me wrong. I don't like labels. Banana Republic doesn't have labels on their clothes. That's why I like them. And I got a very slender body type. So a lot of times when you see like men's large, the clothing is box shaped because they're trying to fit all shapes of man. So Banana Republic has a more trim cut that's kind of fit for my body type. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
That's a tip for you ladies out there. If you're shopping for your man, if you got a slender man, not every large is made for every man that wears a large. A lot of times those shirts are really box cut and it'll end up looking horrible on them. And yeah, make sure you get those trim shirts or the larger shirts for the larger guys. Don't get them those, you know what I mean? You don't want to have them busting out. It's not a good look, man.
Yep, that was your tip from Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, but you want to know what I love? I love socks.
Cool.
Like I'm a socks guy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm very specific with my socks. Like I like Marvel socks. I'm very weird about that. Like all of my socks outside of I don't like white socks. I don't wear white socks at all. I think they're disgusting. I wear gray socks and I wear Marvel socks. So I gotta have like comic socks. My favorite is Deadpool. Those are the types of socks that I wear. And like my kids give me ones that, say #1 dad and stuff like that. Like those are fun. But I love wearing superhero socks. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know where it came from. It just happened.
Wow, so that's good.
Oh, it's weird. It's very weird. I'm oversharing now.
Yep, you're gonna get a bunch of socks being mailed to you.
Right, so there's a couple things on the list there if you want to send me something. Some white chocolate macadamia nut cookies or chocolate chip or snickerdoodles. Marvel socks. If you guys, the listeners, ladies, if you want to send a little care package, I appreciate you. Give you a shout out.
Yeah. Now, if you really want to show them that you special, bake him a homemade cheesecake and send it to him.
You might get cursed out on
And
Instagram.
watch how much
for that
love
one.
he showed you.
You
Oh,
might
yeah.
get cursed out on Instagram. I might do
You
a live.
might get
I've never gone live on
You
Instagram.
might get a free
I'm-
website. You might get a free website. Thank you that cheesecake, ladies. Thank you that cheesecake.
Yeah, I'll make you a website. You ain't gonna like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Send him some flan or some rice pudding.
and some
Boy,
blue
he love that
cheese.
stuff.
He loved blue cheese.
Yep. And I'm
Oh,
gonna send you
my
right back to the
goodness.
cat down the road.
Oh man.
I'm leaving you for Q. You be like, well, you came back for. He ain't like my cheesecake.
So you take that cheesecake somewhere else, woman.
Oh man.
man.
Come on, Q. Let them be. Let them be great, Q. Let them be great.
They can be great with somebody else.
Oh man, but yeah, so but yes, I just do those little things and just to give my mind a different break and stuff. Well, here's another thing now. If I'm not looking at shorts on YouTube, I'm actually looking at documentaries.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You're a documentary guy.
Yeah, I will look at documentaries in a heartbeat, especially when they start talking about, like, there's this one about why such and such is so expensive. Now y'all know I'm I showed y'all the knife that I want to get, that fillet knife for cutting fish and stuff. I want to get, and it's expensive, but it is bamboo salt.
Bamboo salt.
Salt, that is a thing. Bamboo salt, and it's very, very expensive.
Now, what are the benefits of bamboo salt?
Salt, like salt.
Salt, SALT.
Oh man.
What are the benefits of it?
It has just a lot more minerals in it and everything. Everything. It just has it.
Is it like a rock salt?
It's been a while since I've seen it, but it takes them several days to make it, like 4 to 5 days to roast it. They actually take the bamboo, they cut the bamboo out, pack it with salt, and then they cook it.
I'd be interested to see how it tastes.
At high heat.
I'd really be interested to
Yeah,
see how it tastes.
it's on Amazon right now for $100.
Yes.
And I just added to
it
the
is
cart.
not cheap.
Wow.
What's your cart at right now, Mathurin?
I think got about $2,000.
Nope, $708 right now.
708. I'm sorry.
When we started the show, it was at $588.
I'm sorry, Mrs.
But
Matthews.
since you guys are rerouting me to Amazon and stuff, so I'm blaming this on you guys. I'm just adding a lot of stuff to the cart, but the main thing, I think the next thing I end up getting some of the books that we talk about, Q, because I have a lot of books that you didn't recommend to me on there.
Dope. Yeah, that's one of those things that I will spend money on. As I've mentioned before, I believe in having a library, and keeping books, hard books, not books that are in your phone, and keeping copies of books and just having them, reading them, passing them on. That's something that in our community we don't do enough of.
No, not at all.
I always, that's something I always look at when I go into people's homes, especially doing notary work, is, the differences in, what's around the house when I go in there. And a lot of times in some different areas, that are a little bit more well off, you always find a library in their homes. There's always some type of bookshelf, and you see a lot of books around, versus in other situations you don't. So I see
a lot of Jordans.
So I've always been someone to say, hey, take the book, buy books, invest in books. Books really don't lose their value. Books will actually gain in value as well over time.
Oh yeah, no, you're right about that. Sure, I'm trying to think of the name of this book that I came across on Amazon. For the hardcover, there was actually $1,400 for it.
I've got a book on PDF. I was finally able to find it on PDF. But the book on Amazon, I believe, is $250,000.
Damn. What?
Yeah.
And here I was thinking the 1400 was.
That's nothing. That's the college textbook. Come on. Who reads those books
I don't know.
anyway?
Hey, look, Q, I don't know what book that is, but we're going to have to talk because most likely it's a good one.
Yeah, I'll send it over to you, man.
You know, actually, it was it was one of the books that you had recommend for me, Q, but it was, for some reason the other day it was coming up as 1400, Bridges and Boundaries for whatever reason. But hey, that's what we do, guys. We actually read. We are a group of black men. I know you don't like it, but you know, we actually read.
Melody and Ben, yeah, thank you.
You know, we actually read and take our time to educate ourselves. So it's not, I know it's rare, you know, to find it.
Hey, and I'm just going to throw this out there to you guys. Again, I'm going to tip this line a little bit and back away from it. If you really want to study something that's worth studying, anything in this world, it will change your life once you actually understand these things. Study contracts. Study contract law.
Yep.
Get yourself a book on contract law and learn the basics of what signing a contract is, how it affects you, because anything that you put your name on, you're signing a contract. You need to know the laws behind it. Now I'm going to back away from this conversation because it could go in a whole different direction, and this is not the podcast for it.
Yeah, it's backing away slowly, like that Homer Simpson meme when he back away into the
true story
into the trees.
Yeah, look, I have to say something on that one, man. Look, here's the deal, y'all. Again, and I talked about this recently on the podcast on Fritter Friday.
No,
it's you and the person that's paying you, and in between that, and I didn't say this on the pod in the Fritter Friday, but I'm saying it here. In between you and that person that's paying you is that contract that y'all both agreed to.
Correct.
What the problem is, y'all keep putting that notary trainer and y'all listening to the notary trainer. And the problem is the people who are paying you have no arrangement or agreement with the notary trainer. So you're trying to abide by what the notary trainer said. And it goes contrary to what the person who's paying you said. So let's just say you are getting your $300 a signing. You mean to tell me you're not going to do what they asked you to do? Well, my trainer said that I don't have to do this and that I'm supposed to stamp every time I see the word seal and dot. And they're like, no, we don't want you to do that. Well, my trainer said I can print front and back. We told you in the instructions, don't do that. So, and you under contract to go in accordance with what they are asking you to do, which supports their client, the title company, the lender. You just broke your contract.
Right, because as soon as you press accept, that accept is a digital signature. That is your digital signature that's placing you under contract. Now, here's my issue with this entire process. When we are dealing with SnapDocs or signing orders or any of those other platforms, and I'm going to go ahead and just say this, with you signing companies, because most of you guys are in breach of this, and this is a real issue. It really is an issue that nobody's talking about. It's a legal issue. There's not full disclosure of the contract that's being signed until after the contract's signed. That's a problem. Yeah. There's no reason why we should be signing a contract and accepting an order prior to knowing that you pay net 90.
That's true.
And some of them will give you a chance to read it.
Some do. But here's the issue.
Right.
Work is
but you have to accept the order first. You have to accept the order first.
Right, you have to accept it first.
And then you see the contract, and then you see the thing, and it's like, okay, I don't accept the order. You're not going to pay me for 90 days, irregardless of the dollar amount. And there's no way to see their contracts, their agreements ahead of time.
Right. Right, and we're almost put in a situation where we have to accept the contract without being fully knowledgeable of the contract, because work has been so scarce that if you don't hit accept within the first 2 seconds of you seeing it, there's a good chance that you're not going to get it.
No, right. Not at all.
You know, so you risk you end up in a bind not knowing fully what you're signing up for, and then if you go and you read the order details and you say, yeah, no, I'm not doing this. Like if a signing company said, well, before you send this document out, we want a picture of it before you put it in the envelope, after you put it in the envelope, and then we want you to tape it. We want you to tape all around it to make sure that nothing happens to it. And then we want a picture of it taped. before you send it. And you say, no, I'm not doing that. Well, then if you come back and you say, well, you know what, I'd like to be removed from this order, guess what? You're gonna get blackballed from that company.
Right. And you have no recourse. And that's a big and that, to me, there just has to be something against that you have no recourse to find out why you're being blacklisted. You're not even being informed you're being blacklisted. Any of that. You just being told. To be honest, you're not even being told you're being blacklisted. Somebody happened to tell me, and then I told people, like, hey, yeah, we get blacklisted. They got a list that we don't like you list. And I'm like, okay, how do I get off of that? And they like, well, once you get on it, it's like you don't come off. And it's like, come on now. It's like, give me a break here.
Yeah. So maybe we should start, maybe the notary should have a list of companies that.
There are.
We blacklist.
Well, they do have it, but here's the problem. Who's going to fight for the notaries about it? Because, I am going to do a video about about companies not paying you and what I believe we need to do in order to protect ourselves. And I'm also working, I got it today. I think I mentioned it to Q that, one of the problems I'm having now is that I did some documents and they talking about out of all the documents in there, they said the deed and the note was missing. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't believe that. 222 pages. Right. Yeah. And the deed and the note is missing.
The two most important documents.
Right. And it was a reverse mortgage. And with the reverse mortgage, it has 2 sets of deeds and 2 sets of notes, 2 copies. And I'm like, you mean to tell me those 4 sets? I'm like, nah, something ain't right. So what I did, I found some ink, ink stamper ink that works on plastic, since they want us to send it into plastic. And I did. And I had a stamp made, says Griffin Notary Services. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to start putting my stamp, that says Griffin Notary on there with this plastic permanent ink, and let the companies know if you get the envelope and it doesn't have my stamp on it, then somebody open it up, because somebody can still open that plastic up, right? Yep. Mess with the documents, or it gets ripped, and then throw it in another one, and nobody's none the wiser, because there's no indicator on there that it was, originally done by me. So I'm got that stamp, and I'm gonna start doing that.
That's smart.
To keep me, just as a measure now, because I just can't believe there's no way I didn't lose those documents. I know I didn't.
That's smart. No, I hear you on that one. That's something that everybody should be taking into consideration. But I'm still going to stand on what I was saying earlier. It is a legal problem that there's not full disclosure on these contracts that we're signing. It does need to be looked at, and it needs to be changed.
Yep.
Yeah. And the signing company can actually, and I know why they don't do it, but they could actually put the contracts will give, like once you inside and say, okay, here's these companies and here's their work agreements, and you can look at them ahead of time. And in my opinion, you should be able to look at them ahead of time and go ahead on and opt to whether you're going to agree to it before you ever get an order from them. Is that a lot of contracts? Yes. But here's the thing. On signing order, they have a thing up there for the orders for all of the companies that you clicked and said, I accept their contractor agreement. On the left-hand side in the menu, they have all of those companies listed that you've accepted. So you might as well just do that up front instead of after the fact. Yeah. Do it up front and everything. And then, matter of fact, let's make it do it this way. You can't even get an order sent to you from this company until you accept that contract. And just call it a day.
Yeah.
So now it's a lot of reading you got to do. And then maybe that company can say, hey, we're interested in sending you this order, but you haven't, read the contract. Read the contract. If you agree to it, click it, and then you can start getting orders from us.
There's a lot that would need to be done to clean this up. The fact of the matter is people don't understand what contracts are. They don't understand contract law, which is why we've gotten in the position that we're in now.
Right.
So this definitely needs to go to a higher level. It probably needs to go to the state, because technically there are lawsuits that could be filed.
Yeah. And each state has their own way that they expect workers or people doing business to conduct themselves. So you're conducting business in our state, but your practices go against our laws and policies. That's why Uber and Lyft and all of them had those problems out there in California as the way that they was classifying their workers, but was asking them to do things a certain way like they was an employee.
Right.
So all of that stuff matters, and here's the sad part. And see, a lot of people who say signing company hearing this now, oh man, y'all trying to stir up something. Nah, if you really look at it, every company, every business that should be having their 1099s as independent contractors, but they work them like their employees, the company gets in trouble.
Correct.
So doing it right benefits the signing company.
Correct.
It benefits them more than it benefits the independent contractor.
Correct.
Because all they're going to do is tax me on the back end and say, hey, you should have paid taxes on this money. But it's the business who said, I'm paying this person as an independent contractor, but you got me working as an employee, which means I'm not getting the proper benefits, because now if I'm working as an employee and you should be paying me through that system, guess what? The state's not getting their money, their unemployment insurance, their taxes, their revenue, anything from the business. So that's what we're saying is that not like we're trying to start a revolt, but it benefits the companies to do it right.
Correct.
And if you go back and you just go look up 1099 laws, just 1099. There's a guy from QuickBooks that talks about it. He breaks it down, and it's the companies that get in trouble more so than the independent contractor, because we're not electing to work like a W-2. You working us like a W-2, and we're like, okay, we'll get paid, and you're messing with the government's money when you do it that way.
Well, you see, folks, this is the difference between an employee mindset and an entrepreneur mindset. The difference between working for somebody and working with somebody. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hey, you guys got anything else to say?
I'm good, man. I could say a lot more, but I ain't gonna say that.
I know. I'm looking at the time though. We got to wrap this one up.
Nah, man. So we're good. We as always, we appreciate you guys listening and sharing the podcast.
Don't worry, we'll be back with more heat. We're gonna keep the same energy because there's a lot for us to get into.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm
gonna sneak downstairs and eat me some cheesecake before I go to bed.
It's just disgusting.
You having a fit?
It's just disgusting. At 11:30.
I think I got some blue cheese left.
Yeah, y'all can go ahead and eat that modified crap. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. But we got more to bring you guys on topics like this. There's so much that needs to be discussed. The same conversations keep happening in this notary world right now, and it's sad because it's the same conversations that's happening everywhere else. Just different topics. Everybody's just talking about the same things over and over again without looking at ways to make stuff better. There's a lot that's wrong with this notary world right now. It is being exploited, and we need to clean it up. If you really care about it, and you're a business owner that's looking out for their business and the longevity of their business, talking about the laws is a part of that. All right, talking about the things that we've been talking about is a part of that. It's not all the let's go make $10,000, let's make $6,000 this year. It's not about that. There's more to it than that. And that's with any line of business that you're in. And the movers and shakers and the people that make things happen in industries, guess what? That's what they're talking about.
Yeah. How you plan on passing down generational wealth with your business if you don't understand the legal aspect of how you're supposed to be running your business? If you don't
understand trust law, how about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Generational wealth. Do you have a trust set up? Is your business set up in the trust? We're not going there. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Are we out of this, guys? That it?
Yeah. Oh, man. I just found me a knife set out here, dog. Like,
man, we're out here. We're out here.
We know the reason unsealed.
Love your life. Love your business. Love yourselves.
We know the reason unsealed. Stamp down and stop in front of the mic. Here we go. Took the game over. We home now. We
soldiers. Griff, Mathurin and Q, the podcast, you can't hold us. Y'all heard the word, y'all heard the word. Griff, Mathurin and Q, yeah, we on the verse. So diverse, with no rehearse, that's how we work. Authentic when we give it, if we said it, then we meant it. Not to be confused with other people's views. They get it how they get it, and we get it how we do. Look, homie, this a whole different game. We got a whole different aim, we in a whole different lane. Yeah.
We Notaries Unsealed. This my everyday life. We Notaries Unsealed. Every day I hustle out here living it right. We Notaries Unsealed. Put the stamp down and step in front of the mic.
Took the game over, we home now, we soldiers. Griff, Mathurin and Q, the podcast, you can't hold us.
We Notaries Unsealed. Every day I hustle out here living it right. We Notaries Unsealed. This my everyday life.